Welcome, everyone, to Fated Worlds, The Burning Wind!
Yeah!
To Fated Worlds, how is everybody? Burning Wind!
Good.
Oh,
Wait for mine to mute the
I'm
stream.
naturally.
Yeah, I managed to forget to mute the stream on my end, so it might have been it.
Well, you're in good company on that. Yeah, I mean, you may have too, but I also forgot. I'm excited to see things continue to fall apart for Four Mathers.
As am I.
I present to you the shovel.
Yeah, I better get digging. Do we want to do anything like go over, updated beliefs, or do you want to just like?
I don't know. Like, I'm pretty
what
excited
do you
to see what happens. So, I think we should start with a little like recap of what the situation left off at the end of last session. Because
last time
you
on
missed
Burning Wind.
something.
Yeah, I was looking at the rolls earlier, and yeah, something happened here. There was definitely like a thing that happened.
Yeah,
Like, there was
definitely.
Definitely perplexed by the acting roll into his, or the alchemy roll into a speed test. Like, something prompted that. Yeah, look forward to finding out.
So last time, we've met a beautiful maiden with long black hair and the most perfect. What color did I describe her skin as again? Not olive. I remember not olive.
Was it
caramel?
Caramel.
The most beautiful caramel-colored skin, and she was very interested in helping out Rav for some reason, threw a flirtatious smile or two at Jojo. In the meantime, Mother's life was busy falling apart on virtually every area.
Yeah. Romantically, he's been like
his business wasn't doing so well.
His business is being interrupted by sleet, and he drank an elixir that made him a little crazy. I think that's it for now.
Oh, only a little.
Yeah,
only a little. So they fixed you.
Yeah, I mean, it started with him hearing some things about his business going bad. Then he saw Davy like drinking tea with Casper von Thunderberg and being all cozy, and she was all like rejecting him. And then he tried to help Desi by creating an elixir to try and save her, and he decided to taste test it himself. Unfortunately, the person who gave him the ingredients kind of got it wrong, and he ended up making the elixir of insanity. A result of that was a beautiful scene where Mathers grabbed his two rusty swords and walked out of the lab, muttering about some business he had to attend to, and Jojo just running after him, panic, trying to convince him not to chop off anybody's fingers, which results
that he wants to kill them instead of chopping off their fingers.
I mean. And as a result of that, they are now both heading to the rookery to have a chat with Master Elodin. So yeah, let's see how that is gonna end up. Oh, and Ralph, by the way, was very, very wonderful. He was just standing there watching Jojo struggle with Mathers, and just was like, It's fine. None of my business. So we're walking on a winding little path through the forest, and in the distance, you see this gigantic manor with its birds in front of the windows and the walled-off garden appearing before you.
So, are there any people that I can give signs to that help? Something's going on. Maybe notify the people or something.
I mean, you're currently in the forest. You imagine that if you were to enter the rookery, there might be multiple people.
Okay. So, okay. Basically, I need to talk to Melis again, which is not really the most efficient course of action right now, but it's the only course of action that I seem to have without, risking anyone's life. So we are at the rookery, like near the rookery.
Yeah,
right.
You're seeing it like looming up in the distance.
All right, Mathers, I have an idea.
What's that?
Let me check out the situation before you. I don't have a sword, so they won't be suspicious of us as quickly. Then I can get back to you and tell you about the situation.
Oh, I suppose they would be suspicious about the swords. I'll try and conceal them under my clothes. Fine, go ahead.
Okay. then I'll just go ahead.
So it's not this lying.
Am I lying about... No, I do actually conceal the swords.
Yeah, but lying about not doing anything while you wait for him to go ahead.
I made no such promise.
So what do you do, Jojo? In front of you is this big old manor. Next to you, mothers with crazy eyes.
So you will stay here for that moment, right?
I shrug.
Wait, what did you say?
He would shrug.
I shrugged.
Okay, shrug. Can you formulate it with words, please, so there's no interpretation errors on any side of here?
Yes, I could.
You could. That doesn't sound very reassuring. I don't want to go in there for nothing, you know? I'm making work here for you, man.
Well, I can't promise anything, but there's a very good chance that I'll still be here when you get back.
That sounds not very reassuring.
And you can test off of that one, because that's not particularly true either.
I mean, that's probably your turn to roll falsehood, isn't it?
Yeah.
Getting those nice rolls.
Oh yeah,
Nice
Manners is like leveling up his falsehood and his his crazy sword skills and all these things you don't usually get to do, like stabbing people.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to do that nearly enough, and here you are trying to get in the way of it.
Well, I mean, I just think of the long game, you know?
Sure. In the I suppose I do wish to have a very meaningful conversation with Elodin. But there are other people on the radar as well. If you want to go ahead, then go ahead. If you don't, then
Well,
we'll
then-
go together. It
then
doesn't matter.
Let's go ahead together now. Come on.
So do you walk through the walls of the rookery?
Yeah, I think we just go through the main hall, right? Because that's what crazy people do, right?
Well,
Well, what does matter?
I that depends. I don't suppose that they'd just let us walk wherever. We should probably. Well, I don't. You can do whatever you want to do. I think that I'm gonna exercise some degree of discretion until we find Elodin, and then the murder and mayhem. That sounds like the way to go about it.
I'm pretty confident. Like what's going in JoJo? I'm pretty confident that Elodin is sealed somewhere where we won't get too easily. But on the way, it might get messy. So yeah, trying to find a way to cut this short. Well, what would be your plan? What would you like to do?
Well, is there an open window on the bottom floor, or is there a back entrance or anything like that?
Sorry, what did you say? Is there an open window or a?
Or a back entrance?
I mean, there are no open windows. They're all barred off. I imagine there is a back entrance, sure. I mean, if you want, you can give this place a closer inspection. I can tell you something about it.
Sure. Just perception?
Yeah, and it's one of those tests that I keep forgetting the name of.
Graduated?
There you go, graduated. I should remember that. A test that's been to school.
Yeah, I want to graduate. Three?
Yeah, so while this place doesn't seem it on first glance, it's actually quite the fortress. From what you can see, like the walls are made of thick, sturdy material. Like there's some kind of metallic wire woven into the windows to make them hard to break. Some, but not all of them, have actual bars in front of them. And you're pretty sure that if there's a back door, or you've seen a back door, but you're pretty sure that it's locked and made of some pretty sturdy material. You do see that if you wanted, you could probably climb up to, a window or the roof or something along those lines using vines, but you didn't really see a way in once you get there, unless you come up with some.
Jojo, I don't suppose you have a talent or locks?
Not really. I mean, I can
If
try.
you had one, not right now.
I suppose I could try. However, well, do you know how this works? Maybe you should try it. You seem more like the person or stuff like that.
I suppose I can give it a shot. Sure. I'm sure I can do it.
Okay.
Okay, so what am I beginner's lucking?
I'm not sure. I'm sure there must be some kind of lock picking or breaking and entering skill.
I would be surprised if there wasn't.
Leverage lockpick. The skill of disabling and disarming mechanical locks. Yeah, there's a lockpicking skill. It's based on perception and agility.
Okay.
So while he's doing it, I mean, I don't get a better chance to knock him out than this. But he's like literally trying his hardest to get it key.
I mean, I'll give you an extra die for him being busy.
Yeah. Can I fog in stealthy in that case?
I can see how you sneaking up on him can work, but with all forks that you are using, you need to describe them. Like, if you have not described narratively that you're using it, then too bad for you. No,
I see. Okay.
No stealthy.
Okay, then I would try to do that with that and battle-wise. So
let's describe, like, Mother, you see this, like you trying to open a door?
Mm-hmm.
I assume, and if so, which door, the front or the back? Or
the back door.
Are you pulling another door out of your ass somewhere? Okay.
Yes, the third door.
Okay.
I mean,
it's located in my ass. I have to crawl in. It's a little awkward, but nobody will ever suspect.
I mean, there might be a third door if you want there to be a third door. You can. I think you were busy then, but I was talking about to the rest about how you guys have, like, you guys are permitted and even encouraged to take a lot of creative freedom. Like, consider yourself gems, basically. I mean, I decide about, difficulty levels and stuff like that, and die rolls and stuff, but creatively, if you want a third door, you can create it. I might say, okay, well, this is a third door that leads to the most dangerous room in the world, if it looks like you are just munchkinning because you want an easier door. So, but feel free to come up with, to say right now, like, oh, by the way, I am hunted by the Silver Circle, and we don't know right now what the Silver Circle is or whatever, and you weren't previously hunted, but now you are, and now the Silver Circle exists. Totally great. Like, that kind of stuff helps my creativity, because suddenly it's not just one clear idea from one person that makes entire sense. It becomes a more complex system, which is good. So feel free to come up with a third door if you want there to be a third door.
Okay.
It's just going to lead to the most dangerous room that in existence. But.
Perfect.
Okay.
That's
they have a portal to hell.
Yeah.
Garden that said. Might take you in, maybe.
Okay.
It's probably not guarded.
You.
So you see this very sturdy door. It looks to be made of wood, but not the normal kind of wood. It looks new, almost like it's been put in within the last couple of months. And there's a lock that that's more robust than your usual kind of look. It's got, like, if you look inside it, it's got a few more things going on the inside, and the material and the workmanship seems very good. So what do you do? Like, do you kneel down and like start poking your finger in there? Do you have locksmithing tools?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be doubled twice. I don't have locksmithing tools, but I do have I do have metal on me, so I'm confident that I can move the right tumblers inside with the just with sympathy. Little shift.
I see. I mean, go ahead.
All right. So yeah. I guess I'm gonna get double ob just off of the whole Alar thing. Damn it.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
But I will I will dangerously, apparently, bend down and look into the keyhole and try and observe for anything tricky. And was there anything else? I guess just that. So I'd like to work in.
Okay, let's see. Sympathy. What do you use as binding material? Or as
just
wood?
the metal of one of my swords.
I see. Well, that's reasonable. So you need to. You're starting up as 1. You have 1 binding. Materials are good enough. By itself, like moving something is reasonably doable. Do you have a source of heat?
I'm not your source of heat.
You're not the only.
I will not. No.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you can just nick him a little bit.
Yeah, I don't have like a cinder box or anything written down, so I don't have one. So I guess I'm just using my own heat, and that
Okay.
could possibly go wrong.
I will warn you. You will risk binder's chills, and it's going to be harder. So that's all the 3.
You feel a sharp sudden pain. Someone is stabbing you.
And then 5 extra obstacle for a reason that you don't know yet, but I imagine you can guess at it. And that's it. Yeah, ob 8 before doubling.
Oh, okay, great.
And you risk binder's chills. You can still decide not to do it, though.
I feel like you're gonna do it anyway.
I think I like start, and then as I feel,
I mean, you'll get fate for it afterwards.
Yeah. I think I start, and as I start to feel how incredibly impossible it is, I back off.
Okay, sure. Then
No fair.
But if you start, does that mean he has the time to try and stab you?
Yeah.
I'm not stabbing anyone. I'm giving you a blunt.
Knock you out. I mean, my
Yeah.
bad. I mean, Mathers is having effect on me. I think everybody wants to stab everybody.
Blunt force to the head.
So you kneel down and you peer into this lock, and you create this binding in your head, but you already feel that it's pretty feeble because you'd have ob 16. So
Yeah, I think that's the moment when I try to strike when something I notice something like that.
Hold on, and as you try to move this thing, you feel this gigantic pressure as somebody is pushing pillows everywhere on you, on your body. Is just, and not just any pillows, super heavy weighted pillows that they've piled all kinds of weights and stuff on.
Pillows of steel.
Yes, pillows of steel, like solid steel.
My favorite Duke Nukem game.
So you pull back and you're like, whoa, for a moment. So go ahead and describe what you do, Joseph.
Yes. The moment when I realized that he is kind of that he's not able to react in time, I will silently pull out my hilt, get it into my hands. Because of previous battles, I know where to strike and how to strike, that I knock someone out without, destroying his brain, which would be unfortunate.
What do you have mechanically for that?
Battle-wise. I have battle-wise.
I see. Oh, that is useful.
That is useful.
Yeah, no, that sounds totally sensible.
And I go near, so I don't have to aim too much. I just get one precise. I will. Not that aiming is easier. I try to aim, of course, because trying to do the right thing here. So you said because of distraction, it's +1 die, and
yeah, and I'll give you an extra die for for the fact that you don't have to aim. That does seem like a thing. So you get 2 dice. But I'm trying to figure out how knocking somebody unconscious works. Does anybody know?
Probably rolling test. Or like a skill. Just make it like a skill test of choice.
So with the fox, I have 4 extra dice.
I mean, basically, it would be you're rolling with the intent to knock unconscious, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if there's like a system inside of wounds, because I haven't looked at battle that much. We haven't been involved in that at all.
Well, I mean,
I don't think we want to use the whole fight system for this. That's
the question.
Yeah.
I think the point here is to avoid that mechanic entirely, because dealing a wound or permanently harming him is not the intention.
How about we make this of a test versus the fort of Mathers? Because it seems like he's not using something. It's like tests against will, right? He's not using something specifically to defend. He's just passively having resistances against being knocked out.
Makes sense to me. That's a good
And that actually also
baseline for
makes
the other.
fort useful to have occasionally, warning people who have it high.
On the other hand, I
mean, if you want to hear it coming in time, you can try and roll that as well.
Yeah, because
but
I would like
there
to
you have to
defend
roll, so you don't have the...
rather than just like having my head be hard enough.
Okay. By the way, that means I have 4 extra die with the fox.
If you have 2 forks, then you have 4 extra dice.
Okay.
So
it's neat.
Well, hold on.
Observations.
So do we need to do
Sounds like
a
observation.
I mean, do we need to do like a test for noticing that I'm about to get whacked in the back of the head?
I mean, there's a couple of ways we can do this, right? We can roll your notice versus whatever he rolls right now. and then just see what comes out higher. Like either you notice and you dodge out of the way, or he hits you with the sword and you don't get knocked out. Alternatively, we can turn the notice into a linked test that can increase or decrease your fort result, so the 3 you start with. Or alternatively, you roll notice versus his stealthy, and then depending on that result, you either roll or we use your fort. And what you roll with then depends on how you defend against his attack, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's reasonable to test, observation or whatnot, and then if I fail, then it's just fort to not be knocked out. If I succeed, then
okay. In that case, roll stealthy for me. So we'll apply that die then to stealthy for you, Jojo. That die that you have from him being distracted. And Mothers, you can roll observation to notice him stealthing up behind you.
So I have 1 less, basically.
No. You roll stealthy right now, and you take a +1 to that stealthy. And depending on who wins that test that you're doing, stealthy versus observation, if you win it, you get a lot easier chance of knocking him out because his fort is 3. So then you're just have that static obstacle of 3. And if he succeeds, he can try to defend with something else.
Okay. Then I just roll base obstacle 1 because we roll against each other anyways, right?
Yeah, you guys roll against each other, so one of you can roll up at ob 1 and then the other.
No, but I use a fate point for this. It's a 1 6 1 6. Really?
Very binary roll.
Sick roll. That is a nice pattern. Okay, so your obstacle is 3 Mothers for your observation.
This counts as a routine test then always, right?
I mean,
we go against each other.
It will depend on
what he rolls.
Okay.
Your obstacle is whatever he rolls.
I see.
I'm hearing a Skype call
by someone.
Yeah, same.
David always calls me, and then I didn't pick up, and then he's like, right, Wednesday. It happens. I think it didn't happen last Wednesday, but aside from that, it's happened every Wednesday so far.
Yeah. For some reason, my parents always keep reaching out to me during RP sessions.
Okay, so 3 versus 3.
So that is a difficult test then, right?
No, and Mothers doesn't have, how do ties work in Burning Wheel? I don't know.
I think it's favors the defender.
Not the attacker, because they take the risk. I remember something like that. I also remember favoring the defender, but I thought that was not a game system.
Pretty sure it's the defender.
Anyway, 3 against 3 is difficult test, right?
Let's see, you had 4 dice, and with up 3, yeah, should be a difficult test.
Good.
Yeah.
Nothing for me. Nothing.
Aww.
I guess there's also something about if you have the right sort of trait that does ties. I don't think I do.
400.
A call-on traits.
Okay.
Yeah, if one of you has a call-on trait, that breaks the tie. So check if you have call-on traits for observation and stealthy.
Nope.
Yeah. I have a character trait that's...
Unless the tie can be broken by a call-on trait, another length is run and another roll is made. That's specifically for chases. But I think that's generally true, is basically a tie is either broken with a call-on trait or
you roll something else.
Or you roll something else.
Or you're at a stalemate.
Let's see.
But we go to a different test.
Tied versus.
So
4-4.
tied. Yeah,
4-4-1. Yes. The
441.
tied versus. And he gets no result. Move on to the next action. See, that's specifically for fight.
Yeah, and there was also a tie for like other stuff. This is traits and stuff. I don't want traits. Headings.
7.
ST. Tests 13. Maybe it's just a 13. Maybe it is that easy.
That sounds weird.
Maybe it's like just in reverse.
Test. Outcome is
Versus test.
uncertain. Difficulty. Increasing difficulty.
See, if one character is an aggressor by the intent and one character is a defender, ties go to the defender, page 26.
Thank you. Okay, so yeah, you notice him. Others. You hear this sound is like, what do you hit him with?
Sword hilt.
With your sword hilt, yeah. So you just hear that little sound as he pulls it from his sheath, and fueled by your paranoia, you look around.
I knew it. The inevitable betrayal.
I fucking tried to save your life. Ah.
Sure.
So
That's what
yeah.
you're doing.
I mean, I still do my test, right? I still have some advantages, right?
Unless you decide that because he looks around, you want to turn this into a big fucking lie and pretend that you were just having this as ready for in case something turns like wrong or something like that. Since you also have the chance to respond to him, but either it's now the versus test where he gets to roll something and you get to roll something to try and knock him out and he tries to evade,
Yeah.
or
So,
you deal with it some other way.
Yeah, the moment when he turns around, I probably can still act like in that moment when he turns around. Now is my only shot like in that regard, so I'd still have now an advantage while I won't have an advantage in future.
I mean you do still
right?
have the one extra die from the fact that you're already up close and you already have your sword drawn, whereas he's behind on the facts basically. So you get that one extra die, but yeah, you don't get the extra die for him not knowing anymore because he knows, obviously.
Yeah. and not from stealthy too, so
no. So
that means
+2 then.
+2. I guess that's still better than normally, so let's go.
All right.
So how are you
like,
trying to avoid this blow, Mather?
Well, I imagined that I was at least had a hand on the sword, if not out, because I was using it to for the binding.
True. Yeah.
So.
True.
Oh, he has actually a sword in his hand. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I didn't. I mean, I should have listened to you.
I think you should still get like that die advantage because positionally you're behind and I'm on my knees. But yeah, I'm gonna.
But you're correct. You do have your sword already drawn in that case, probably.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna spin with that and like.
Parry?
Engage and parry, engage with the other hand and get all grabby. I think that's yeah. So yeah, just try and lock blades for now.
Okay. Yeah. Here goes my only persona point.
It's a good thing not in the fight.
So we roll against each other again, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Okie dokie. It's gonna be horrible. I can feel it already.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Do you have 5 pluses?
Wait, how do I? Why is there +5 now? I did not fucking try to. Okay, never mind. I should probably reroll that one.
Probably, like the difference is a bit too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. Or maybe I had an old one already there, so I forgot to reclose it and made a new one. Okay. Well, that would have been a juicy roll. Damn it. Of course.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Not quite as good.
Not even a 6 in there.
Never lucky.
That's how I die. Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, my objective is not to stab you at this point, but I guess if I can just like disarm you, I'd be okay with that.
That's when you that's what you get for only using the hilt of a sword.
Yeah.
Why
So painful.
Like with the first roll. No.
Not like this.
Not like this. A first roll would have been enough. No.
I knew this was coming, Jojo.
It seems so. So yeah, you successfully parry his blow.
So I mean, if your very next action is to run away, I'll let you run away. But if you're staying in my face, I'm going to stab you.
What is your very next action, Jojo?
I'll probably raise my hands.
It wasn't me.
Wow. That's not running away.
So he raises his hands, standing there, helpless, looking at you with a serious look in his face. What do you do?
Stop him.
Yeah, I think I draw my, with the one sword up, I draw my other sword, put one to like crossed to either side of your neck, and kind of stare.
I guess that's when I try to. Okay, when I see this development, I probably think about running away.
So you want to leg it?
Yeah, I mean, but that's my final stratagem. If anything else fails, that is my final tactic that I always get. Yeah.
Advancing in a different direction.
Yes. So do you try and stop him?
Retrograde advance.
Mathers.
I don't know. I feel like there's some not necessarily like a skill roll, but some sort of like random thing, something to like test against.
A madness roll?
Yeah.
Sure, we can roll a die of fortune.
Okay.
Yeah.
How likely do you think it is that he goes to chase or try and stop or try and murder Jojo?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he'd chase him, necessarily, but
the potion is talking strong out of him.
I could
strike him down before he leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you had to say like 2 out of 6, like if you roll a 5 and 6, he'll try and do something to Jojo, and 1 to 4 he won't, or
That sounds about right.
4, like 2 to 6 he'll try and do something to Jojo, and 1 and 2 he won't. Like what do you think the odds are?
I think
50-50?
there's about a 1/3 chance of him.
Okay, so roll
forgetting
that
about the always protect my
d6.
friends and just going with the vengeance against those who have crossed me.
Yeah, so roll me a d6, and on a 5 and a 6, you will turn on Jojo and try to... I don't even know what you'll do. Ugh.
You're gonna do it really
I'm so
hard,
sorry.
though.
I'm so sorry.
You are very convicted that you should do something about this man.
Okay.
I mean, that might just be go back to your laboratory and make a poison and then feed it to him later.
No, okay. My intent is, as he backs away, to cut off one of Jojo's fingers.
That's pretty precise.
Yeah,
That is pretty precise. That's going to be pretty hard. Like, harming him in general is going to be a lot easier.
If you want to just hurt him, that's probably slashing at, just hitching.
No, I
Not so much.
think it's like... more of a...
I mean,
it
what
is
makes
a precise
sense...
vengeance. It's...
Okay, well, what makes sense to me is some give you some kind of a high number to succeed, or mark some kind of a big bonus probably. But if you fail that roll by 2 or less, you'll just end up like harming him, because you can't stab at his cut off his fingers and fail and then not hit him, right? Unless you fail by a lot. So let's see. If you want to cut off the fingers from somebody whose hand you are not holding and who is trying to run away from you, and then let's see what your obstacle will be. What do you guys think? On a scale, like, is it an act that requires expertise, that requires heroic effort, that is so improbable that it's improbable, or that requires preternatural ability or a lot of help? I guess not that one, but like expertise, heroic effort, or it's very improbable to be possible.
I think because these are rusty swords and not like a sharp one that is.
Oh right, yeah.
Made to cut things.
Yeah, I would probably say heroic effort then.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you get 3 extra dice. Mark.
Okay. For running away.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, and I think I'm...
Or for whatever else you're going to do to try and avoid having your fingers chopped off.
I think in this case I'm not forking in Brawl because I,
have 2
because
swords.
it's so specific.
Can I fork in battle-wise though, so that I...
Sure, describe how your previous battles have prepared you for this.
I've my previous battles, not as much as seeing people battle all the time and seeing what makes mistakes people made that get them killed or get them crippled, and trying to avoid those.
You once saw somebody who kept trying to hit at somebody's hilt?
Yeah, and poor guy lost his hand. And I'm not going to do the same mistake and move like that, That would be stupid.
Of course. You are Joseph Jones, the legendary man with 5 fingers on each hand.
Yeah.
The esteemed
God damn
5-finger
it.
man.
Can I get 1/6?
I don't know.
It's
And it's still based on 1.
No, up 4. Joseph already rolled.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh
Just
no,
sixes,
there are
huh?
6s. There are 6s.
Yeah,
there are 6s. So if you like right now, you would end up like hurting him, but not cutting off a finger. So you probably like he probably
Okay.
has a gash across his hand or something along those lines.
Okay. So yeah.
But you can use your 6s to try and cut off a finger.
I'm gonna start with 8. I don't know if that's mean or merciful, but that's what I'm doing.
Help!
Jojo, your poor finger.
There are not good protheses here. Well, that's unfortunate.
You succeed by 2 or more, so you can pick the finger.
Dumb. No. I think it's a tricky thing, but I think ring finger for your infidelity and betrayal of trust.
Lack of loyalty.
You
Poor
never
Jojo,
trust,
he's
but
Is
you
it-
never trusted me.
Is
though.
it the one on his left hand and mirroring Desi, of course?
Wow.
Yes, indeed.
It's fate.
Now the ship is going to start.
yeah.
Gotta see how many people we can ship with Desi, especially while she's unconscious, because that's not creepy at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Okay, so like you hear a slash and a crack as the bone breaks, and you feel this burning pain in your hand as you leg it out of there.
Yeah, it's a rusty sword too.
Oh yeah, you should
Even
get
worse.
yourself checked for tetanus, because tetanus is scary.
I mean, it doesn't work like that, but however,
Perhaps now
My-
you think
my-
twice
I
before
feel-
turning on me.
can I do like a reflex roll of agility to take it with me? The finger.
To take what with you? The finger. I say you can take your finger with you if you want to.
Okay.
Does this count as a wound of some sort?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have the
Mortal wound, GG.
Do you
Yeah,
have
what
the damage
are
stats
the
for
tiers
your?
for the wounds? What? Just put it somewhere where you think it's applicable.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a light wound.
A medium
It's not a
wound or
mortal wound either.
Yeah, let's just put it.
But you're
wound.
bleeding from your finger,
Yeah,
Yeah.
or from where your finger was, rather.
Yeah.
do you have the weapon stats for your swords, Malus?
Yes, I do.
You can just
And this is not.
look
I
at
don't
this.
think like looking at the weapon stats right now matters. Matters though.
I mean, it's
Um,
good for like a guy that I'm talking about. Like, it is a sword attack after all.
Yeah, but I mean, this is not about about how fast he's going to be taken out. This is more about what represents the fact that he's bleeding from his finger and being weakened and losing.
Yeah,
Well,
just
losing stuff,
putting it out there as an approach. From
Yeah,
the
no,
take.
I get that. That is like that definitely like I'm all for following the rules, especially when it comes to combat. But I feel like this is not so much combat as a narrative cutting off of fingers.
As a narrative clusterfuck.
I mean,
Definitely narrative clusterfuck.
Yeah, just talking with rules.
I mean, that's kind of what we do always, but
Yeah.
So, like,
Literally always.
what tiers of wounds do you have here again? Lights, I think, and then
It's light, midi, serious, traumatic, and then mortal.
Okay, well,
Like
it's already
guts.
marked mortal. Oh well.
yeah, either midi or serious.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna head to. Anyway, I'll just head to the medicals. Doesn't matter which kind of wound.
I think like severe should probably be left for stuff that almost kill you. So let's say it's meaty. Like I don't think this is going to kill you right now. But it will definitely hinder you in doing anything that's, you know, involved in your hands, like severely or anything really, because you're fucking in pain.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't do this already, I will let out a sharp cry so that anyone who is near, like there in there, is warned that something might happen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what do you do? Like, do you just head straight for the medica?
Yeah, I don't even think about it. Just okay, but my body just knows. Okay, let's go there. That's probably the best solution for this, because I don't think there's much thinking left with all that adrenaline.
Yeah, adrenaline and pain and everything, and, you know, shock probably because you're bleeding from your hand, and managed, you know, one of your friends just cut off your finger. I mean, that's pretty shocking. So, Mathers.
Yes.
You have that satisfying feeling of that finger being chopped off. Like,
vengeance.
That crack as it went through the bone was a little unsettling, but, you know, you showed him. Like, that's what people get for messing with Mathers.
Yeah. Now they'll know.
But unfortunately, he made a lot of ruckus and, you know, messed with your plans because people are gonna hear it.
I think I have messed more with RNGs on this time, but
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, this could present a problem. I think I'm just gonna head into the woods back to Imre. Yes, I definitely want to talk to Olodin, but there's somebody else.
I mean, you can pretend you're the one who yelled. Go after Olodin anyway. Just say, like, I'm sorry. I really need to talk to Olodin, but I couldn't figure out where the entrance was. So I yelled in frustration. You know, something along those lines. Surely you can spin a story. I mean, you're this close.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'll head around to the main entrance, but I kind of want to see what's going on with like Lord Marigold and Rab at this point. I mean, I kind of want to see what's going on with.
Sure. We can definitely do that. Let me see what I've written in my session notes. Lord Marigold.
Yes.
You, same time, maybe some other time.
Yeah. So how long has it been since I was last here? I remember meeting the new chancellor in the court.
It's like the next day.
Rather freaking out. Okay.
So the next day, you are walking across one of the courtyards, and you see a girl, and she's very much in distress. She's sitting on a bench, crying with long, sad sobs. just trying to get some air between her breaths, and she's very, very distressed.
Yeah, I think Marigold he's heading somewhere at this, but like he's heading to like his next class or whatever. And he looks through and like, he knows he has somewhere to be.
I mean, you can choose to ignore her.
Yeah,
like that's the
but
freedom you have.
At the same time, he just like, kind of sighs and walks over, puts his bag down next to her, and sits down, plonks down on the seat.
Yeah, as you put your bag down, like she looks up from her hands and she says, "Oh, sorry, don't mind me. I'm such a mess." And then she silently continues sobbing.
Don't worry, miss. I've seen my fair share of messes in my time. You're far from the worst I've seen. But what's...
I don't know. I'm pretty pathetic.
I wish I could disagree.
Oh.
Wow.
What's troubling you?
I wouldn't want to bother a fancy lord like yourselves with my problems. Like it's
No. It's fine. Are you missing something? Are you?
No, I'm just sad because I can't, like, I don't know, like I've just gotten into a lot of mess and I can't like continue my studies here and I don't know.
Do you need money of some sort?
I mean,
financial problem.
She looks at, like, she looks up for a moment, like she doesn't know what to say, and she says, like, I mean, like I and she's just stuttering, right? Like she doesn't know what to say to a question like that. You know, I mean, I guess or something, but I'm sure I'll figure it out. Don't mind me.
Is it another student that's bothering you? Is it or you have some troubles with the faculty today?
She just puts her hands in her face in her hands and like starts crying, like even louder when you say, like, is there another student that's bothering you? She just starts wailing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think he sort of puts his arm around her and says, "Oh, there. It's going to be. If there's anything I can do to help, just."
She looks at you a little and she says, "Thank you. You're very nice, Lord." And she looks at you expectantly, you know, to hear your name.
Lord Quentin.
Lord Quentin. I'm Irissa, I think I called her. Yes, Irissa. I'm
nice
Irissa. She thinks for a moment about your question and she says, do you know how to politely tell a lord that you're not interested?
Well, maybe not politely, but I've been known to tell off a few people in my time when they put their business where they shouldn't.
She shakes her head and she says, I don't know, like, I don't want to make anybody angry. And you hear in her words that she's too polite to say to make anybody angry who could screw me over very hard.
Yeah. Well, Irissa, if there's one thing I've learned over the years is that when you have power, you should put it to good use. And what good use is power if you can't screw somebody over? So tell me who this guy is, and I'll make sure that he's put in his place.
She looks at you very hesitant, as if to ask, can she trust you with this, or will this mean, her damnation? And then she puts on a brave face and she says with a very small voice, Casper von Thunderberg?
Of course. Guy.
Yes, I had a feeling. It's not exactly well known in our circles either. Spoiled brat, for the lack of a better word.
You think so?
Indeed. The scum salts the very heritage of his parents. They would be ashamed if they were any better themselves.
Thank you so much for helping me, Lord Quentin. I didn't know what to do.
Well, you're very welcome. And in the meantime, before I can have a chance to talk with him, just to maybe get you off your feet a little bit. And then he reaches into his purse, scrambles about, and I think he pulls out a solid 20 talents.
Damn. He's being serious.
Yeah.
Let me look at my money obstacles.
He just doesn't have any less money on him.
Yeah, I mean, he just carries minimum of 2 gold marks. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
So
do you have some change, please?
Currency. Okay, a golden mark is ob 3, and I didn't think 1 or 2 golden marks differs that much. I feel like it needs to differ a category to differ that much. So ob 3.
Yeah. Let's see.
To help this poor girl.
Remember what we did?
And I think that's double
last
S
time.
spread. Let me check. Yeah, double S.
Okay. So I remember that we did a resource test for him at some other point.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
That's how I came with those numbers. A talent is ob 1 and a mark is ob 3.
Yeah. So let's see. There it is. Resources. Oh, of course, it's in this window. Let's see. No modifiers, no Artha, ob 3. Yikes.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
It basically just means I'm taxed of it.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing in the world.
It was literally all the money you had on you.
Yeah.
It seems so.
I probably just hand her the purse. You want to do? Just take this.
She looks at you with big eyes, and then she looks at the purse, and she looks at you, and she says, thanks. I mean, thank you so very much, Lord. It's I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I'm making a fool out of myself. I mean, this is too much. I can't just take your purse.
Well, consider this maybe the beginning of an understanding then. You let me know if anything else like this happens at the university, and I'll see what I can do to make things right. She
nods. She thinks for a moment, and then she nods, and then she makes this, I'd almost call it a formal bow, except that you can see that she clearly hasn't had any education on how to make a formal bow.
Yeah, it's someone's idea of a bow.
Yeah, it's very heartfelt and very sincere.
Mhm.
And a very big
Mhm.
thank you, basically.
Yeah, I think Quentin has dealt with his fair share of commoners before.
Mhm.
Like he knows like what people's idea of a formal bow is, and he's gone to like proper etiquette school. He knows how
Yeah.
to make it.
He knows what she's
all the
really supposed to do.
like all the different styles of bowing, especially while seated. That was a whole like semester.
Semester of seated bowing.
Mhm.
I mean, it's what you want to spend your time on, I guess.
Yeah.
So she gives a very deep bow, and she says, "Bless you. You're like a hero. I will make sure to to tell you anything you want to know. Like if there's anything that I can help you with, like ever, please just let me know."
Very well. Have a good day. I'm going to. I think I know where it's going. I'm going to visit a friend in America.
Okay. How can I find you?
I almost want to make like a bat signal at this point. Make a bat signal. Light up the sky.
Leave a message on the university walls.
Yeah. This website, you can just type in stuff now.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you, which is not your fault, but people are driving like motorcycles or mopeds or something outside. I think they've left now. So can you repeat?
People.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Probably a person I can have them contact.
I mean, you can just tell her where to find your room, or I guess your mansion.
It's not like that.
Or perhaps you have a butler.
Maintain his propriety.
Indeed, the nobleman.
Perhaps you have a person for this, a butler who.
He's no Thunderbird. He's not Thunderbird. That's it. I might just like circle up a person for this to say that I have someone at the university who like handles my correspondence.
Sure. I mean, you can. You have a manner, right? You probably can be. You don't even have to circles. You can just add. Like, I'm totally fine with you adding somebody to your acquaintances that is like butler of the manor who arranges shit for me.
Yeah. Let's just say that he has. There's because of course it's his name. There's a man called Jenkins. You can probably find him in the library most of the time. He's taking, or around the library. He's taking quite a liking to the studies here, and he works for the family. If you need to get in touch with me, you go for him.
She nods and she says, "Well, thank you very much. Like, if there's ever anything to do," and she tells you, like, "Yeah, I don't have a room right now, but just ask in administrations for Arissa. They'll know where my room is."
Yes, of course. Well, if anything comes up, I'll let you know.
In the meantime, unless you want to do something still.
No, I think we can cut there.
Okay. Rav, at some point you fell asleep, whether it's a daytime nap or, a late night. But you fell asleep and you're dreaming. You see Desi again.
I figure this is probably like after I split off from from Mathers and Jojo. I went back to my room and went to sleep. Is probably when this is happening.
That makes sense. So you curled up in your bed, closed your eyes, prayed that you don't dream, and fell into a slumber. And there, like in the dark distance, you see the face of Desi swimming closer through the ripples. And you see a couple of images, and you can describe, like, you have a feeling that Desi is sending this to you instead of trying to talk to you, what she did before. She's trying something different this time.
Mm-hmm.
So she's sending you images, things you can see. So what is it you see?
So yeah, he looks in this around this world, like he sees Desi in the distance, and like I think she kind of like makes like a pushing motion towards him, and then the images like come at him like a wave, and he like staggers back, and when he looks up again, Desi's gone, and instead he sees a group of people standing together with a gigantic dark figure looming over them. They all seem to be like friends and maybe unaware of this dark figure.
Yeah, you recognize the faces as well. Like these are like your faces and Lord Marigold and Jojo and Mathers and
they're all
Davy.
They're all together, and then the figure is entirely black except for its exceptionally big white eyes staring. And then is that a different scene? Or is it the same?
I mean, you can weave them together, but yeah, I think all of them are different scenes.
Okay. So like we focus on the figure for just a moment, and it hunches over and changes into something else. And it's not entirely clear if it's the same for a moment. It's not entirely clear if it's the same figure or if it's a completely different one. As the scene changes from the group of friends into just a dark room, and Rav gets that feeling like you do in dreams, like this is in a mirror, or Emre. I always say that wrong every single time. And we're now in a dark room in Emre, and a black feather like cuts across the field of vision, and we focus on that instead, and we realize that it's hanging from like a noose, and we're outside as the scene shifts again like it does in dreams. And then we like follow it, like as it comes across our vision again, we kind of follow the view of the line of the feather as it sweeps through, and then it like points out into the distance where we see Mathers again, and he's got a beautiful glowing gold crown that he seems very pleased with, but he doesn't notice as arms made of metal just grow out of the crown and reach for his throat. He's like the arms are invisible to Mathers as he is like so happy and yet being choked. And then I think that's a good place for Rav to wake up in a cold sweat. And he kind of thrashes from side to side, and looks out the window and realizes it's dawn. And he reaches under his bed and takes a bottle of whiskey and takes a long pull from it. And then he coughs and sputters and frowns, and the bottle is empty. He puts it down, and he's like, damn it, Mother's always getting into trouble, and now I don't. And he like has the he picked up the bottle again, like he put it down and then he started ranting about Mathers and he picked it up again. And then he's like stops, he holds the bottle really tight for a second and he puts it down very deliberately. And then he shakily gets out of bed and is like, need to catch up on my studies. I don't have time. I don't have time for this man. He's a troublemaker. And I don't like him. But I should probably warn him. Should I warn him? Does he want me to warn him? Damn that woman. Fine. And he just kind of talking to himself as he throws on a shirt and heads out downstairs into out of the muse. That's the word I've been looking for since last session.
So as you exit the muse, you walk straight into Ariane.
Nope.
I would like to resist with consequence.
She surprisingly quickly
Prepare just turns around and walks back in.
puts like a cold hand on your shoulder. You feel the chillness through the cloth you're wearing. She says, "Hold on, Raphael. I'd like a word with you."
Without looking at her, yes, yes, mistress, yes, of course.
Just follow me to my room, shall we? It's much more comfortable to talk there.
I do have a class to get to. If we could just take a moment here, I'm sure it's fine.
And now, you wouldn't want to deny the Chancellor the favor of talking to you,
No,
right?
no, madam, no, never, no, of course not. I don't want to take up too much of your time, so we can just do it here. And he's very carefully not looking at her at all.
Oh no, just come along now. I insist. It's just this way, not that far. And she just kind of like holds you by the shoulder and like.
He is looking for a way to bolt, but doesn't actually do anything. Yeah, he's like eyes darting around left and right, trying to find a way out, but not seeing one. Like
it's early in the morning and it's eerily quiet on the streets. There's very few people. Like you see somebody street over, but calling to them for help might be a bit of a
no. He's like especially looking for someone that he knows, but one of the crew maybe, or just any other instructor than Ariana. So yeah, he follows her though, but there's definitely like this rabbit looking around like. And he's like not even subtle about how nervous he is at all. Like
a cat that doesn't want to be picked up.
Yeah.
You arrive at her room without anything. Like she just walks beside you in like icy silence.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you enter her room, she gestures to your chair and she's very with a honey sweet voice. She says, "Please sit down."
Yeah, when he sits down, it's like on the edge of the chair. Like nervous energy, feet bouncing. Still not looking at her in the face.
She doesn't sit down opposite of you. She stays standing just behind your shoulder where you can't really see her.
Good, I wasn't looking at her anyway.
And she says, "I was just wondering if you needed any help with, the ordeal you've been through. I've heard terrible tales."
Oh, right, yes. It's been, I was asleep, and it was a long time, so I'm just trying to catch up on all my studies. I've been working with the other masters to get that straightened out, and I appreciate your concern. You're obviously fantastic, talented, headmaster, obviously. Mistress.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, just let me know if you need anything.
Oh, I never want to trouble you. No, it's fine.
Do you need any like psychological help? We have great psychologists at the Rookery. I mean, you wouldn't want to, accidentally go crazy and make strange things happen.
No,
so
no.
We have them at your disposal.
Of course. Take full advantage. Of course I will. Don't worry. I have been cleared by the Medica that say I'm okay now. I'm okay. Just completely unconscious for a year, but they are top notch, and I'm fine. I'm definitely fine. Too bad about that girl though.
That is great to hear that you are feeling good.
No. Everything's fine. I just
want to give you a word of warning. You should make sure that you pay good attention because you've missed a year, right?
Oh yes, of course. I feel like I'm starting all over again, but I've been paying close attention. It's a lot of classes. I'm just restarting with new people, new faces. Everything's new and great and wonderful, and I'm been taking lots of notes.
Yes, good. Just make sure that you don't, you focus on your study instead of, these other foolish things that students might concern themselves with. Because you wouldn't want your next admissions to end up skyrocketing just because you watched an interview. You can just hear in her voice that she's smiling as she says this.
I don't trust her even a little bit. Is there any like role I could make to like determine if she's lying or has some kind of ulterior motive here? Because I
can also just tell you.
Okay. Yeah, because like he's paranoid, he doesn't trust her, and he really feels like she's doing some double speak.
She is doing a lot of double speak. Like she's definitely like she's threatening you. She is making these thinly veiled threats about like specifically the fact that she talked about people wouldn't want people to think you're crazy. Like that's her just warning you not to say anything, because else as a chancellor she's gonna make it so that you get locked up for being crazy. Something along those lines anyway. Like you don't pick up like specific ideas or plans. And she's basically like just warning you to keep your head down and to focus on studying and not to do anything she wouldn't like, or else she's going to make your admissions.
Yeah, and Rab is like, that's my plan all along. Please stop looking at me with your creepy eyes. I don't know why nobody else is creeped out by your eyes. It's just me. Nobody else can see them
her
like
eyes
that.
right now look completely normal. Like she's...
Right, no, exactly. But he he hasn't looked her in the face. He only remembers the wrong eyes, and he doesn't want to double check. Like he's he refuses.
Okay. Wonderful. Well,
I think I'm not sure
anything...
which would be worse for him, like seeing them being perfectly normal now, or looking and then they're like they
still
look
creepy.
Wrong to him, but not anybody else. Either way, he doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to know. So so please continue. Sorry.
Well then, wonderful, Rav. If you ever need anything from me, you know where to find me. I'll make sure to keep an eye on you in case you need anything.
That won't be necessary at all. Thank you so much. I don't want to trouble you with your time. You are such an important, like he's like standing up now and
she's
like kind of bowing and skittling out the door. Such an important member of the Arcanum. I wouldn't never want to take up too much of your time. Goodbye.
Yeah, and like you just see like this image of her as she closes the door, and she just has this smile as if she's greatly enjoying herself.
Oh God.
I- and she just closes the door. And we head back to Mother's.
Well, I hate to
Speaking
put
of
things off
insane
even
people at
more,
the
but
Rotary.
I think now might be a good time to take a break.
I mean, it might be, yeah.
Okay.
So we will head to Mother's after the break, so you can consider all the evil deeds he will do while he's crazy.
Yes.
All right. So, please stick around. We'll be back shortly.